Hello guys, it's me Karthik. Hope you guys are doing really good. So as part of today's video, we are going to talk about Spring Data Rest. What is the use of it, and what are the capabilities of Spring Boot on this library. So all of them will discuss as part of this tutorial. As you could see, what are the points I have listed on, especially fifth point guys, which is very interesting, and hopefully if you watch till the end, you will learn something from this video. Okay, so why Spring Data Rest basically? Okay, so why Rest comes into picture, Spring Data Rest comes into picture is like, so we have the JPA repository or some other repository. Okay, let me go there and show you here. So I have a normal repository here. If you want to do small APIs on top of it, something like find by ID, find by name, so find by something, okay, which is very smaller by nature, and you don't have any other operations on it. You just need to fetch the data or update some data and throw it. That's it. Okay, so for those sort of things, it is not, it is very simple, right? But what we do, we go to the controllers and we will write our controller endpoint there in the service layer. We'll try to implement, so we do all these things. But what if I tell you that Spring Boot will automatically create the APIs for you on top of your repository? Okay, basically CRUD repositories it will try to generate for you, like read, write, create and update, delete, those sort of things it will try to do it for you. So we will explore those different options now and see whether we can use it as part of our project or not. Actually we have used it once, so that's where I started learning about this. Okay, so why the capabilities, once you know, then the first one will be answered by itself. Okay, so we have the data JPA repository, I mean data JPA library being added in the pom.xml. Then you can use this guy, right? Okay, Spring Starter Data Rest. So this to be work, you need to have the Spring Starter data and obviously the JPA repository. Okay, so let me add this in the pom.xml. Then let's see what we can do. Okay, so here you could see Spring Data JPA I have, so I am adding the JPA starter data rest. Okay, and here I have the repository. Okay, so let me run this and show you if any methods are popping up as part of the repository, because I said like on top of the repository it will give the REST APIs, right? So whether those will come or not, we'll see. In order to display them, what we need to do also we'll see slowly. Okay, so I hope you guys have already added that library, that is a data REST library. Now let me execute this guy, the Swagger. I have already made 2 videos on how to add Swagger. Okay, so now you could see as of now nothing came up, because how am I saying is basically this is my airport info, so it should come with airport entity controller, like that it should come, but it's not come yet. Okay, so how do I add it? Simple. Here you add a annotation called here repository rest resource. Okay, then rerun your application. That's it. Hope you guys have also added this rest resource, repository rest resource. So let me execute this fellow again. Now you could see our airport entity controller came up and it added the CRUD operations here, and there's a one more also it came up. Okay, so how it get generated without writing any code? Basically it went into the airport entity and it identified this guy. Okay, and based on this it is generating the controllers. Okay, so this CRUD repository. Okay, let me try to execute whether it actually works or not. Okay, so let me take 570 as ID here. I'm doing the get one 570. We got it here, we got the data. Now let me do a put one, basically try it now. $570. What is the data you wanted to add? Something like learning in the world, something like this. Now I have added this put. Now let me execute the get again, see whether it got added properly. I mean, it got changed properly. Yes, it got changed, and we can delete the same as well. Okay, so we can do lots of these things, guys, and there is no one going to stop you except yourself. Yeah, so especially on top of your, so it got completely deleted. Okay, so in your local machine. So I want you guys to explore these things. It will automatically, in whatever the repositories you have, and once you have added the rest repository, sorry, rest resource, this one repository rest resource, it will automatically show all of them. Okay, but if you see here, the name is airport entities. Okay, this is not a good, because it is directly showing, exposing our entity's name here, which I don't want. So what I need to do, I'll simply add path here. Let me give something like airport data location info, and don't give backslash, guys. Here SpringBoot will automatically keep the backslash. Don't give, if you give backslash, then it will throw an exception. Okay, and it is little tough to identify that one until unless you Google it, because I faced it, that's why I'm saying. Okay, so don't give any backslash over there. Now let me execute this. It is started now, and yeah, so basically the purpose is to change the endpoint here. Now you could see whatever the path we have given, we got that endpoint, right? Now let me execute one more time. Again, let me give something like 320. Hopefully it is available. Okay, we got this now, right? Now we got the response something like this. Okay, airport entity, like this we got. Okay, now there is a one more, guys, which I would like to show you as a option here. Along with path, there is a one more, like collection resource, well, REL. Okay, something like airport data. This should actually in the response, that name should change based on this. Let's see. Started executing. Here we have the airport entity, right? So let's see. It is executing now. Try it out now. Here we have 320. Okay, they have given something this, I am also not sure. Report collection resource, let's see where we can give airport entity controller. We run one more time. $320. Not sure. Yeah, that's okay. It's not a big deal. I'll try to see if I could find something related to that. We'll explore. Okay, now Now the next thing is, as part of my application, now I need to explore other information as well, like find by. Here I have this one, right? So find by city, I have find by something like I have two, right? Airport name and city. So find by airport name, and this is airport city and city. Find by airport city. Okay, so airport city. So I am passing string airport name and the string airport city. Okay, here this is also an optional. Let me keep it as optional list. So if a list, okay, anyway name is going to be unique. Up to you how you want to define this. I believe I don't need list here because I am hoping airport name is going to be unique. So I have added this method as part of other other API development I needed. So I have added that. Now let me run this. Whether it will come up or not, I would like to see. Okay, there is some issue here. Let's see. Okay, semicolon. This lot of time is going wasted in that running only, but yeah, can't do much as of now. Now let me run this Swagger first. Now you could see we have got that as well. Okay, give some name, some airport name and information. Okay, let me get this airport name and the city as this, and we got the data. Okay, so error response is why response 404 not found. Anything come up here? No. Okay, I think I need to pass them as a params, then only it will work. Here param name as something like name, let me pass airport name only. Airport city, save this guy and we run our application. We have seen that is coming as part of the controller by itself, right? Let's see whether it is working fine or not. Now try new airport city, Scampton, is it? Error response code is 400. Why? As a string I have the airport city name. Is I given properly? Airport name, find by airport name and airport city. Find by airport name and airport city. It should be coming properly only. It is an optional entity I have given. Okay, Okay, optional I have given, then airport name and airport city. Now you could see it come up properly. I don't know why, maybe some data related issue. So we can directly expose them instead of writing our own other APIs. Okay, you can directly expose them here. Okay, and it would be helpful as well, right? And here the next problem is all of them are here. Okay, and this is not a good way, right? Because I have given the delete, update, all of them, and I don't want them to explode, expose in the controller, because if I have and somebody can really come and break my data, they can delete my data, right? How do I restrict that? Okay, how do I restrict is a fifth point that we are going to see, and this is very very important, guys, and I hope you guys can learn something out of this. Okay, there are a few different methods, guys. Something like I have a rest resource and enabled is equal to false. I kept this as a false. Okay, change it to something like, sorry, not enable, export it, okay, as a false. Now what I am trying to do is, out of all of them I am making one method as false, so all of them should come except this. That is a one way, and that is also not a good practice as well. Why? I'll show that. So I have only, your purpose is to enable all of them except few, then you can do that. Now you could see this method is not coming up. Previously it has come up, right? And now it is not coming up. Okay, so this is works well when you want to expose all of them, but all of them are consuming in some part of application, and one or two which you wanted to restrict. In that scenario I can use this is fine. But what if I want to show, like, by default I wanted to disable all of them and I wanted to show only the one which I needed? How do I do that? That is also important, right? So how do I do that, we will discuss now, guys. Okay, so basically take a config package or you create anywhere else, not a big deal, but it would be good if you create in a config, because all the configuration related will go there. Okay, so here I'll take something like rest repository, some name, repository configuration class or some configuration. Okay, rest repository configuration. Here it is going to implement, here it is going to implement repository rest configure, this fellow. Okay, and I am making this as a configuration so that when my Spring Boot is started running, I will know this. Because of configuration, it will execute as part of the configuration in Spring IO, and it will keep this as a bin, and here I am going to set my configurations. Okay, now if you go here, repository configurer, here if you see, this is a very interesting interface, guys. Okay, so if you see here, this is a static method, this is a static method, this is a default one we have. Okay, all of them are like this, either static or default. This is one of the key feature in Java 8, right? Cool. Now here what I will do is I will see this one. Okay, configure repository, this method. Okay, so I will try to implement this guy in my repository, and let me override this fellow. Override. And here visibility to public. Obviously default I will remove and I will keep public. That's it. Okay, now I have this configure object ready. What I can do, config dot here set default, see this one, set expose repository methods by default. Okay, so by default I am exposing them or I am making them false. By default I am trying to make them false. Okay, now what I have now here, I want to set this configure, right? That means I need to create, right? So if I go to this interface again, if I show you here, I have this interface with the help of with the config I have. Okay, so what I will do is simply I'll take this guy, because all of them are static here. So how do I take the static methods? Static methods can be called from the interface name in interface. Okay, if you see here, there were two are coming with the config. I'm getting here, it is expecting by consumer. Okay, but mine is repository rest config. Okay, only one I have, but by consumer type I don't have, right? So what I will do is I'll go to a superclass, then see configure repository rest configuration. I have this. Okay, so config and cos. Okay, so now I have added this as a configuration. Make sure you are keeping this as a configuration, guys, or else it won't pick it up as part of SpringBoot while starting. Now simple, Control Shift 2 I am not using. Okay, now if I execute, what will happen? So here I have not used anything called rest resource as of now. Now let me show this. So this configuration is applicable to all the repositories. As of now I have only one repository, that's fine, but this configuration is applicable to all of the repositories. Okay, that you need to keep it in mind, guys. Okay, now if I execute my Swagger again, now you could see nothing is there, everything went off related to the repositories. Okay, now that means I have disabled everything to the false. Okay, now how do I make only one applicable rest resource? That's it. Whatever the one you want, you keep that rest resource. You can keep exported as true, if you don't as well, not a big deal. That means I have wanted to expose that method as a data JPA REST method. Okay, so SpringBoot will automatically handles it. This configuration thing is really good, guys. It took me some time to figure it out, but I enjoyed. Hope you guys as well. Now you could see we have only one came up, all other information is gone. Okay, and so if you want to add one more, you can add as a REST resource, and you can add. Why this is important, why this is useful is like only the one we needed as part of application we configure, and the other ones we don't need to configure, right? So that is the entire purpose. Okay, now let's go here. Are we tried everything? Now did you understood what is the purpose of Spring Data REST? If you found it useful, if you learned something, please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you.